Hello and welcome to another Wineword Italy review. Today I'm going to be looking at three of the wines I was very kindly donated by Tenuta Bonzara, which I visited last Monday in the snow. The reason I didn't do the reviews at the Tenuta itself was because of the weather. The road was narrow, winding, very steep and snow covered, so I wanted to keep a completely clear head for the drive home. So here we are, we've got the three of the 9 wines, in fact, that I'm going to review from the Tenuta. First of all, let's start at the very beginning, as they say. This one is the Bonzarino Bianco. Okay, there it is. It's made from the Pignoletto grapes, which are typical of the Bologna Hills area. Now, traditionally this wine is drunk throughout a meal, but it makes an ideal aperitivo. This one is the sparkling version. See, there it is, produced with the Charmat method. So earlier crops of grapes are fermented and then pressurized during the fermentation, so the bubbles retain within the wine. It should be served between 8 or 9 degrees. This one's been in the fridge, so let's pop the cork, get it open, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Here we go. Always an interesting moment. There we are. Out she comes. Pop a little in the glass. Let's see what we're getting. Beautiful colour. Yes. Okay. Let's see, there we are. Lovely fine bubbles. Not as lively as something like a Prosecco, or obviously a champagne, but steady stream of very small bubbles there. The wine is a sort of yellow, pale straw yellow with a hint of green. There's a greenish hint there, which gives it a very fresh look. Okay, let's get the nose in and see what... oh, absolutely lovely. It's a very light fruit scent. Suggestion of dryness, but like green apples. First, you know, so very fresh, very young apples when they're still quite hard. It's a kind of very, very fresh, crispy smell. Okay, let's get the taste going, shall we? And we'll talk about what we can use it for. Chin chin. Wonderful. I always love that moment, the first fizz of the bubbles on your tongue there. Straight away, the flavour of the apples is coming out. Of course, it's not cider, but I have tasted fairly sort of medium ciders in Great Britain with a similar flavour. And the bubbles spread nice and evenly over the tongue there. The flavour comes out, it's a nice fruity taste, and the Pignoletto itself got quite a dry flavour, but it's not unpleasantly dry. It's not like sharp intake of breath. I think very pleasant, the taste is lasting as well. There's a good persistence in the flavour. Now this is, like I said, it's traditionally served throughout a meal in the area it comes from, but this particular version, or the one I'm showing you today, we're going to look at, consider as an aperitivo, but why not drink it throughout a meal? I've got just some ordinary salted peanuts here, the kind of thing you might have before a meal, a little snack. And the balance is perfect. I mean, this is a very delightful wine. Like I said, it's not as vigorous as Prosecco or Champagne, but it's a slightly lighter taste, not quite so dry and sharp. And what's this thing here? I'm serving in the peanuts. It's actually a quaich. Now, if you're familiar with Scotch whisky production, this apparently is a typical Scottish whisky serving dish. It's made of pewter. You get a fair old dram in there, and drink the whiskey from that. But I'm just using it as a peanut server today. Nothing more, nothing stronger than that. Let's have another sip. There it is. If you saw my earlier interviews, you will see that the Tenuta Bonzara is situated about just over 400 meters above sea level, which is why it was covered in snow when I went there last week. And the grapes, as I've said, the Pignoletto, it's a very typical grape. It grows in the Bologna area without any problem. It's been revived to a great extent recently. Many of the producers in the area have now got vineyards of this particular grape variety to turn out. This version here, the Frizzante, or a still version, which can be served, as a fish accompaniment. But this one, certainly, it's an aperitivo, nice and light drink, good taste, nice persistence there. Something you can really enjoy, or as I said, you can drink it throughout a meal.